We are T-minus 2 hours from cinematic history. It is 7 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock tonight, there is going to be the release of probably one of the most interesting cinematic ideas in a very, very long time. It's a movie called Lost in London, and it's an entire movie that is being filmed with one camera in a single take with no cuts, and it's being broadcast live. Let's begin by discussing what a movie is. A movie is essentially just a motion picture, right? The joy of this is you can edit those parts. So, movie actors are often laughed at by theater actors because of the fact that they can reshoot every single line, every single word a dozen times until they get it just right. That's part of the reason why every movie you see, the camera cuts angles all the time. The point is, movies allow you to fine-tune this performance that's 95% incredible by actors into what is 96, 97, 98% flawless. That's what movies allow you to do. Whereas in theater, every time you execute a performance, you have to execute an entire performance, 2 hours long, give or take, and without fail. Whereas in the movies, you don't. So then this guy, Woody Harrelson, who is sort of a newfound hero of mine, decided after an incident he had back in London in 2002, he looked back on it one day and he realized, man, that is comedic genius. So he thought, let's make a movie about it. In addition, he was also inspired by the film Veronica. The beauty of Veronica is it was filmed in a single take. And when I say single take, I mean with one camera, with no cuts, no edits. There was just one camera that followed these people around for a series of events over the course of 2 hours. So, Woody, being a self-proclaimed adrenaline junkie, decided, hey, let's do this. Let's tell my story and let's do it in a single take as well, because it did all happen in one night. Surely we can do this in a single take. And he was talking to some friends of his, and they decided, well, how can we make this better? Because that's very Veronica-esque. I know. Let's broadcast it live. What? Yeah, let's do it live. No, you're crazy. This is either madness or brilliance, quoting Jack Sparrow there. This is nuts. And with a little talking about it and a little thinking, they decided to actually do it. And so, tonight, as I'm speaking right now, they're doing final preparations in the city of London, in central London, on 14 different set locations within a 2-mile radius, to film an entire movie in a single take, live. There are so many things that could go wrong with this. So many things. A couple lights go out, if the cameraman trips, it's over. They have one cameraman. Well, I don't know if they have one cameraman, but they have one camera. This camera, as they travel around London, is connecting to 54 different receivers, so that they can still continuously broadcast this live, no matter where they are on all these different 14 sets. There are literally hundreds of people, right now, who are all going to be working on this live. Police closing off and opening roads as they go. Sets, people running every aspect of every set, all at the same time. There's an estimated 400 people working on this project. As in 400 people who will be on set working on this stuff live. Not only that, there's 24 people who are devoted specifically just to sound. It's not your typical home video where the cameraman just follows you around and it's a really cool thing. What the camera records will go to this central control room essentially, and in that control room they'll put all these extra things on top, like a soundtrack. They actually have a soundtrack for this movie. So if something goes not according to plan, the soundtrack in a movie is not going to line up very well. There are 24 people working in just the sound booth. People who have worked on marathons, major events, the Olympics. And every single person in there thinks this is crazy, and it's the hardest thing they've ever done. Yet, above all, what interests me most is what this film is going to entail. Because the only trailer, you can look this up online, is just a simple video of Woody Harrelson leaning against the railing of a bridge saying, yeah, this is crazy. It probably won't work. If it doesn't work, I'll jump off this bridge. But I really think it might. We're going to give it a try anyways, and we're going to broadcast it live. And that's basically what he does. So, all in all, I know very little about this film. All I know is that it's completely insane. It's going to be filmed in a single take with a single camera. It's going to be broadcast live. And that's about it. I really don't know much else about it. This is going to be absolutely brilliant, and I have less than 2 hours to go. I can't wait. They did it! They did it! They did it! They did it! Oh! They actually freaking did it. The entire thing. They just filmed and broadcast a nearly 2-hour movie. The entire thing, live. Okay. Imagine you are watching breaking news, a high-speed car chase, from the passenger seat of the speeding car. I arrive in the theater, and they have this pre-show interview monologue thing going on, right? Just to give you an idea, just to get you warmed up and ready for the show. And this pre-show interview with all these different cast members, all the cast members are talking about, yeah, I really don't know if this is gonna work. And then they lead into videos of these famous Hollywood stars who are all friends of Woody Harrelson, sending in videos to him saying, what are you doing? How on earth could you be doing this? Why are you doing this? You're insane. We're gonna give you this friendly warning now. As your first film ever, don't do this. And as your last film ever, don't do this. Just don't do this. But what's the coolest part that stood out to me though, was the mood of everyone in the interviews and the actors and Woody Harrelson himself. They all had the same mood. It was, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do this. We're not attached to this outcome of releasing this great movie, and we're not attached to finishing this whole thing. But we're gonna do it anyways. We're gonna do it because someone has to. Someone's got to, and this is an incredible story. This is the best chance we know of to do something this incredible. And that's what they all talked about. They all had this, you could just see this look in every single person's eyes of, I'm not in it to win it. I'm in it because it's a great story. I'm in it because this is going to be history. Whether we succeed or we fail, it's going to be something downright incredible. And I think that's what really stood out to me. That's what blew my mind sitting in the theater. And this isn't just some small theatrical production they successfully just filmed and broadcasted live. This is something more than that. We're talking going to nightclubs, getting arrested, car chases. They did all of this. They choreographed, timed all of this. They had a soundtrack that they included live. It was just downright unbelievable. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the plot. The plot is something you need to see. This is a movie that I would highly recommend 1,000 times over. It will definitely be it is definitely one of the best movies I have seen in my life. And pair that with the fact that it is probably the most complex, most difficult, most absolutely insane video in history. And I don't know, it's something you'll never forget. The best part was, after the show, they had a live Q&A with everyone. So about 5 minutes after the show ended, they showed the credits, and then everyone met back to the nightclub scene, because that's where they had a stage set up conveniently, and so they used that at the end for an on-stage live Q&A to talk about the show and how it went. Needless to say, they talked about the best and worst moments. And the funniest part is, so this could have collapsed, this could have failed at any second, right? There were so many different ways this could fail. And so they talked about, there was one moment where it nearly did. Even more ridiculous, though, is the fact that they had to close down all these streets and all these buildings in order to film, right? There was a 2-mile radius of town that they were actively using. And so they would open and close streets depending on where they were in the film. And there was actually a point, a couple hours before the show started its live filming broadcast, when they got a call saying that World War II ordnance had been found on the Waterloo Bridge, which is the final scene of their film. The bridge has been there it's been 70 years since the war, and you find ordnance now on this night? Oh no. Woody Harrelson was just laying down and taking a nap. He takes a nap, he wakes up shortly later, and someone said, it's okay, never mind. It was the wrong bridge. Oh, thank goodness. They get a call an hour before the broadcast begins saying, well, the Navy has the ordnance from where they are, but now they need to ship it away and down the river. And so they have to close down the Waterloo Bridge again as they move the Navy boat with the ordnance past it. Oh no. And it finally opened up right before filming began. But it was this close to failure. This close. But they made it. Out of sheer luck. Here's to one of the most ambitious movies in history. A movie which will go down forever as the most insane stunt ever But it's a stunt that worked. They pulled it off. And for the first time doing anything, this was their first attempt at building an airplane, and they flew it to the moon.